Hello fellow YouTubers, welcome to this special video. Why is it special? Because it's the first video you guys have had of me on this account in a long time. And I'm sorry for that. I had been, I don't want to say putting all of my energy into the Dons of Gaming channel. I think for a while I was putting like 60%, and then kind of gave up a little bit. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the old channels. Shh, don't tell Tim. I don't think any of you guys even know who Tim is. I don't even think you guys knew there was a second channel. So, but anyway, the point of this video is to discuss, as the title alludes to, why the Women's Royal Rumble is stupid. Now, before you guys dislike the video and say, God, Mudlup, you're sexist, you don't agree that women should have what the guys have, you're wrong. Okay, now here, I have a few arguments for that before we continue. I don't necessarily think women wrestling draws, which we can debate. I'm not concrete on that. That could be something that could evolve over time. But if you look at, like, ROH, they have to have their own separate promotion for their women. I don't think New Japan has women. If you seriously look at it, like, the one argument you can use to where you go, Mudlup, you're wrong, is TNA, back in like the mid-2000s when their knockout division was really over. But even then, their X division was very over too. So, you can't, I guess you could probably like pull up data and like look at like which quarters are doing better. But personally, I don't know if they do draw. Why is that? Maybe it's because that most wrestling fans are guys, and realistically, we don't care. Like, realistically, is there a difference? I mean, if we're watching a women's match versus a guy's match, the whole point of the women being there is kind of be a breakup for the guys' matches. As horrible as that sounds, I think that's historically how it's been. So, uphill battle, I guess. And the whole reason I go through this spiel is because I just want you guys to know. I've thought about this before. It's not like I sat down in front of the camera and was like, women wrestling are stupid, because it's not. Okay? If they're as good as the guys, it isn't stupid. It's the same thing. Legitimately, it is. To a smaller scale, the same thing. The reason I think the Women's Royal Rumble is stupid is because what are they fighting for? And a lot of people, I don't think people have mentioned this. So, historically, the male Royal Rumble, the normal Royal Rumble, so to speak, when you won, what you won was not only a title shot, but you were almost guaranteed the main event of WrestleMania. And there's only one main event, okay? Don't play that game where you say, no, there's like three. No, there's one. The match that goes on last is the main event. Okay? And realistically, the women aren't going to main event WrestleMania. Not this year, at least. It could happen down the line. Again, open-minded to these things. Okay? But this year, it's not going to happen. I don't care if you have Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte. It's not main eventing. I don't care if you have Asuka versus Charlotte or Asuka versus Alexa Bliss. I don't care if you put them in another stupid triple threat or fatal four-way, which seems to be the answer you guys go with every year. None of it is going to main event. Not this year, okay? The reason I say that is because that's the prestige. That's what you win. You don't necessarily win a title shot. Yes, you do, but you sort of don't. Like, you don't win the Royal Rumble for the title shot. You win it to main event WrestleMania, to point at the sign and be like, I'm going to WrestleMania. That's what you win. And the Women's Royal Rumble doesn't have that. It doesn't. So say, hypothetically, Asuka wins the Women's Royal Rumble, and she goes to WrestleMania to fight Alexa Bliss. For one, I'm sorry, that's not a main event. It's not. Because, I mean, unless you want to bury Asuka, Alexa Bliss has to lose. And realistically, I don't think people are going to care. I don't think it's going to be that good of a match anyway. And Historically, it won't be that significant, let's be honest. It'll just be, step one of the Asuka thrust down everybody's throat. So hypothetically, okay, Asuka wins the Royal Rumble, goes to Mania, fights Alexa Bliss. Okay, if that's the main event, I'm pretty sure most people are going to leave. So you can't put that on as the main event, and that's fine. But if it's not the main event, it might as well be curtain jerking. Because legitimately, in a fair argument could be made, that would be the curtain jerker match. Because normally, the women's matches are used to break up the flow. So, like last year, I think there was the Randy Orton-Bray Wyatt match, or maybe it was the Goldberg-Lesnar match, but then there was the SmackDown Women's title match. And if memory recalls, then it was Undertaker-Reigns. So, hypothetically, you'd have two women's matches. And realistically, if Asuka wins, the bigger match will be Charlotte versus Ronda Rousey. And that in itself is a top 3, 4 of the card match. So your Women Royal Rumble winner won't even be close to main eventing. Because regardless, you don't want to put two women's matches on in a row. So let's dream book WrestleMania for a second, okay? You obviously have to have your Roman Reigns Lesnar match. It's either the main event or it's a second to main event. Unless you put like a break in there. Right? Then you'll have your other world title match, which AJ Styles versus Shinsuke. Those will be your two highest matches. Then you'll have, if Cena's in some sort of big match, that'll probably be up there. Right? Maybe not top 2 or 3, but maybe like top 5. Then, if you have Ronda Rousey come in, which rumor is she is, who knows, that match will be up there as well. So, in the flow of things, you wouldn't want to have the Raw Women's title match up there. Unless Ronda Rousey comes in and doesn't fight for the SmackDown Women's title. But then the question is, who does she fight and why do we care? And even if she doesn't fight for the title, the prestige of that match will be over the crowning of Asuka. So there's no point. This is the problem with the entire women's revolution, and they've botched it every single step of the way. Okay, well, not every step. They did the right thing in having them main event Hell in a Cell. But if you go back and you look, they debuted like 6 women all at once. And look, a month ago they did the same thing with Absolution and the Riot Squad. I haven't been watching. They did the same thing. You throw this many people all at once, and what happens is none of them get over. Or maybe one of them gets over. Like, I think Charlotte got over at first. But because Charlotte was getting the push, Sasha didn't get over, and Becky Lynch didn't get over, and everybody else who got brought up didn't get over right away. It took a little bit before they started getting over. So, they screwed up there. And then, they just had one storyline, which wasn't good. The WrestleMania match, it should have been a one-on-one match. And people, I get it. You wanted Becky Lynch in there. Okay. But if Becky Lynch is in there, she should have won. And then they botched it there because they had Charlotte win. When it should have been the crowning moment for one of the other 2 women in the match. Preferably Sasha Banks. Then you had that long-ass feud between Charlotte and Sasha that never seemed to end, that realistically the matches weren't that good. They were okay. They were borderline good sometimes. But this is where they messed it all up. From the start. And I'm not saying that the Women's Royal Rumble is going to be bad. Because I don't know. It could be amazing. You already have your unstoppable forces in Asuka and Nia Jax. Probably Tamina, they might book her like that. And then you have your underdogs, Bayley and Becky Lynch. You have the pieces, but will they do it right? And honestly, doing it right means Asuka, Ronda Rousey can't win. Because if they win, it's exactly what everybody expected. And that isn't good. If the match is the curtain jerker, it's not good. But realistically, they can't put it second to last. Because you can't sit through 2 hours of Royal Rumbles back to back. You're sitting in this situation where nothing is going to work. Realistically, and I don't say this to be rude, the Royal Rumble show itself probably isn't going to be that good. You're having a handicap match, you're having a triple threat match with Kane in 2018 as your world title match. Then you have a men's Royal Rumble which let's be honest, okay? Either Roman Reigns is winning, Shinsuke is winning, and that's probably about it. Maybe Randy Orton. There are a few options. And then you have your women's Royal Rumble match, which realistically is going to be Asuka or Ronda Rousey. Or maybe they throw a curveball and have Bayley win. At least Bayley gets to be part of this one. Because a lot of the first she wasn't even involved in. She got to be in the first women's kendo stick on a pole match? Whoop-de-fucking-do. And that's another thing where realistically you know how the match is going to go. And that doesn't really lead to much excitement. If anything, the Women's Royal Rumble is going to hurt the Guys' Royal Rumble. And what is the benefit there? What do we gain from having freaking predictability in our first match? And all it's going to do is when the Men's Royal Rumble comes on, if they put it too soon after the Women's, the crowd's going to be dead. And then, like, either you can't have surprise returns, which I'm sorry, if you have a Women's Royal Rumble and Trish Stratus or Lita doesn't return, you've done fucked up. And I will come on YouTube and I will tell you guys they done fucked up if they do not return. I mean, you don't necessarily need both, you need one. You really do. But who knows if that'll happen. Because if they do that, then it's going to hurt the Guys' Royal Rumble when freaking, I don't know who's going to return this year. I don't even care that much. But say if The Undertaker comes back, his return will be nerfed a little bit because we just saw Trish Stratus return, and Lita return, and all the other returns in the Men's Royal Rumble, or the Women's Royal Rumble, or the call-ups. Realistically, there's going to be too much going on. Do I think the match has potential? Yes. Do I think if booked properly, it will go over well? Yes. Do I think it will go over properly? No. I think the Royal Rumble is going to be a cluster. And honestly, I'm kind of excited. Who cares if what I said is correct? If the women, curtain jerk mania, fine. Because if they're curtain jerking because Ronda Rousey's debuting and having a big WrestleMania match, then we're fine. And I think that's all I have to say. So, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, because I will be uploading weekly to this channel, which I haven't been doing in a long time. And I'll probably be watching wrestling again. Thanks for watching. Peace out, I'm Skillets.